Yes, I feel very uncreative because my discipline is philosophy, and it's dry and logical, but I am also an educator, and as Dean of the Faculty of Arts, I think a lot about education and its value. So my dream really starts with a problem in my waking life. Right now, the power of generative AI and tools like ChatGPT have a great power to compromise our willingness to think for ourselves, and that poses a huge problem for educators. When students are tempted to enter paper prompts into the tool to spit out a well-written essay, they prioritize efficiency over their own understanding. Never mind the factual errors that emerge. If you ever want to entertain yourself, put your name into ChatGPT and see what biography comes out. It invents all kinds of facts about you. Dreams allow us to project into the future, opening up all possible worlds and inspiring us to make the possible real. But projecting AI technology into the future only invites nightmares. So I want to turn to a famous dream and also a nightmare from the past to remind us of how education empowers us to think for ourselves, or good education empowers us to think for ourselves, to create a better and more just world. The famous dream is that from the Méditation métaphysique de René Descartes. The meditator, as you will no doubt remember, proposes that everything he is experiencing might be a dream, causing him to doubt whether his perceptions of the world afford knowledge. Rather than hope, the prospect that he might be dreaming right now inspires fear and is one step away of the nightmare of a mélangénie manipulating our minds. Yet even in this nightmare, the meditator finds a smidgen of hope. He confronts his fears, he opens a new line of inquiry. Qui suis-je? He builds his confidence and ultimately arrives at a method for distinguishing the true from the false. He finds a strength of will to think for himself, imagining what can be known, and actually acquiring knowledge and striving to make the world a better place. We know that story and how it leads to the development of modern science, but what we don't often learn is how this story, this fictional set of meditations, inspired efforts for social change, and in particular for the equality of men and women. François Poulain de la Barre, in his 1673, De l'égalité des deux sexes, draws on Descartes' method to recognize that l'esprit n'a point de sexe, the mind has no sex, and question the prejudice that women are by nature inferior to men. Gabrielle Souchon, in her 1693 Traité de la morale et de la politique, continues this fight against women's inequality, arguing that women are constrained, kept in ignorance, and subjugated, and thereby deprived of their liberty, knowledge, and authority proper to human nature. For both, thinking for themselves and doubting the beliefs they were raised into allows them to imagine not only that the social world could be otherwise, but to argue that it should be otherwise. The standards for judging a just society and for evaluating the social world they inhabit. For each, education holds the power to transform their world. In 1674, Poulain publishes De l'éducation des dames, and in 1700, Souchon publishes Du célibat volontaire. A good education for them is an antidote to the customary entrenched beliefs, prejudices, from which injustice arises. And a good education enables individuals to think for themselves. Today, we are all too tempted by passive strategies for acquiring knowledge. We search Google, or worse, we rely on AI to take notes and even write papers. We need to be agents in acquiring knowledge and in addressing the complex challenges we confront today and will confront tomorrow. We need to act. Il faut agir. Action need not start with doubting, but it does start with asking questions. To address our questions, we need to think through what distinguishes a better from a worse answer, to work together from our diverse perspectives, and to be willing to be humble enough to ask more questions and to find more answers. This is the power of an education, the education that I dream of, I suppose, to enable us and our students to find solutions to intractable problems. And with this education for action, we can all dream together and create a better world together. Thank you.